bit of research. And so, we want to know why you decided to become a surrogate. And when I looked at some of the statistics, just in case you are not aware, there is a rise in the working population, so people between the ages of 38, 39, that are likely to begin surrogacy. And what I thought was really interesting was that it's predicted that many people go to surrogacy because of infertility as well as other issues. But in learning about your story, gay men, 10 to 20% of them are starting to go to surrogacy. So we're starting to see this rise in the gift of life. So why did you become a surrogate?
Well, what you just stated, I had no idea a couple years ago either. I thankfully had a very good friend who, this was before COVID, she was over at our house for a party and said that she was going to be doing what's called a sibling journey. She was going to be carrying for the same family again. And she was such a close friend that I was able to ask her all the things. I mean, why? What happens physically, emotionally, logistically, legally? How does this all work? And she answered all of my questions. And my husband and I, we knew we were done growing our family. And I was very fortunate to have I actually really enjoyed being pregnant, and I had very uncomplicated births. And so the more she talked about it, I naturally then decided to talk with my friends and some family members. Come to find out, my mom was almost a surrogate, like this close to having a baby for another family decades ago. And I even offered up my womb to some friends that I knew were having infertility issues and not easy conversations. And they said, no, thank you, and which I understood completely. So I ended up going through an agency. And that agency is one of the largest in the country. And I think going through the application process, I didn't know much about surrogacy, but apparently I had some bias, I had some thoughts in my head already that just going through the application process completely debunked any of those myths. We had to prove our financial stability. We needed to be above a certain line. I did a psychological evaluation, which all of my friends said, did you pass? And I did. I had to obviously give medical records and things like that. So I was accepted. Oh, they did a 90-minute interview with my husband as well, because they need the support of your friends and family to do this. So I was accepted and very thrilled. And the way that this agency works is they match you. They have a whole department of people who match you with someone else who wants the same things. Because you can be a surrogate for any reason or want to be a surrogate, but is it okay for the family to be gay? Do they need to be domestic, or is international okay? Do they have to speak English? And so for me, the more research I did, I already told you they were from Paris. I didn't realize that surrogacy is currently illegal in Paris, in France, whether you're gay or straight. It's illegal. And if you're gay, they make it's nearly impossible. It would take about a decade if you're able to adopt. Because I'm also a very big advocate for adoption and fostering, and I wasn't sure how this would fit in, So I made sure that I was matched with someone who surrogacy was the only way that they could make a family. And our first couple that we were matched with, I was thrilled. I had no idea that Paris wasn't even an option. When it came to my business, because we started this whole process right before COVID. And I knew that I wanted to build my business in Philadelphia because I had family there. I want to build my business intentionally, just like I do with my clients. I don't want just more, better, bigger. So that happened a little easier than I expected, to build things in Philadelphia. So I said, where's next? I had said Paris. And then I get matched with these guys. And now they've become the family that when I go out there, they're the ones that I get to visit with. Those are the ones that I get to go there for, and might as well get some work done too. But that was how it came about, and everyone I think has a different view of what the perfect world is, And this was a surprising way that I could take an action, even if for one family, because these guys are so deserving. I mean, they are better parents than I will ever be. And they are some of the most loving humans I've ever met. And to be able to help them make a family is something I will be forever proud of. So that's why, for me, surrogacy.
But it didn't go as planned.
No,
Right?
it didn't. I mean, global pandemic definitely adjusted timelines. And I think the second thing was it definitely was something I knew I would be proud of. You know, I want to do things I'm proud of in my life, but I didn't expect the acceptance and love from them, which will forever change my life. I mean, the baby was born. She's not quite 3 months old yet, so she's still tiny. They're back in Paris, but before they left, they asked me to be her godmother. I mean, that's a lifelong thing. Me, you know? And I am so touched by that. And the other thing that didn't exactly go as planned was my body physically did this thing where it stopped producing red blood cells, which we need. And it was actually, it actually was very scary. And my numbers were so low that I was fine. That was the weird part. I was completely asymptomatic. My baby, not my baby, the baby, also totally fine. But I ended up needing to go to the hospital. The whole third trimester was a lot of blood transfusions and a lot of checking in on things. And I was very lucky, although they couldn't even pinpoint, because this isn't a surrogacy thing. This is so rare. It's not common for surrogates. It's not common for any pregnant ladies. It was me. So I dealt with the unknown as far as that went. And I think the hardest part, though, was that I could feel that the baby was fine. I'm going to the appointments. I can see she's growing just fine. But I can't imagine being in Paris, getting the medical news and the updates, not knowing what was going on. And best case scenario, healthy baby born, my body started making blood again, red blood cells as needed, as soon as she was born. I mean, it was just, so no, that was not planned and not expected, but thankfully there was a happy ending.
That's wonderful. It's amazing what our bodies can do.